Ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to a new episode of our program Women's World. With you today, Amal Mukhtar. A short break, I'm going to be back with you. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Well, media is considered to be the most important tool in society in the modern times, as it has the power to reach out to a large audience by mass communication. The empowerment of women is much needed for the social and economic growth of any society, and the details in the following report.
Media is considered to be the most important tool of society in the modern times, as it has the power to reach out to be a large audience by mass communication. The empowerment of women is much needed for the social and economic growth of any society. They are the creators, teachers, and developers of any human generation. While on the other hand, media, being the fourth pillar of our democracy, has certain duties to follow in the betterment of society. It can play the role effectively in transmitting information to society, in empowering women by educating the society about their stand and worth. A number of studies have been reviewed to increase the participation of women in decision-making through the media and to promote a decent and balanced portrayal of women in the media. Women empowerment is very essential for the development of the country, and it could not be denied that women have the capacity to change the destiny of a country. Women are offering their services in two fields, on domestic and economic fronts. It needs recognition that for the socio-economic development, women participation is mandatory, and they have the ability to mold the nation's fortune. The social and economic empowerment could not be achieved without mass media in the era of technology. The empowerment of women is much needed for the social and economic society. The role of media has become very important in shaping present-day society. Media is the part of life all around, from the shows one watches on television, music, on the radio, the books, magazines, and newspapers. It educates people about the current issues and influences the public opinion. The common people rely on media to know about the happenings in the society. Media has the power to pressurize and criticize the drawbacks of democracy. It is instrumental in bringing about unity among the masses and is backbone of the nation. Therefore, the increase in the participation and access of women to self-expression and decision-making through the media and new technologies of communication is in a way empowering women. The powerful and positive role that the media can play in the empowerment of women and gender equality should be supported and further explored.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, with our main topic today in this episode of Women's World. We are going to discuss women empowerment in Egypt and in Africa. And to shed more light on this topic, we have the pleasure to host today Dr. Fatma Badron, the chairperson of the Alliance of the Arab Women and also the executive director of the Egyptian Feminist Union. Welcome, Dr. Badron.
Welcome. Thank you.
Dr. Badron, let's start first to talk about the Arab Women Alliance.
The Alliance for Arab Women is an NGO established in 1987, so it's an old NGO. And since then, we are working on women development in all aspects: legal, economic, political, and social. The Alliance has branches in 7 governorates, and it works as an umbrella and helps other NGOs, small NGOs, in achieving their targets, and all are working on the women development and women empowerment.
Yes. Dr. Badran, since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi came to office, he was keen on women empowerment, and that was, we did not in the last years, we did not hear this expression or this word several times, except when President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi came to office. He was keen on women empowerment, and he allocated a special year for women. How do you see this?
Yeah, in 2017, this was the year of women. And of course, President Sisi stressed on the women development and empowerment.
Yes.
And we all noticed that. First of all, the Constitution in 214
yes.
Stated clearly on the gender equality, yes, and giving the women all the rights to contribute and participate in all aspects in life, economic and legal, and even the judicial, which was far away from Egypt's women. And of course, also we can see that the last state, how many women ministers we have now.
Yes.
It have never been like that. We used to have one, yes, for ages.
Yes, 1 or 2. We have
1 or
8
2
now.
maximum.
Yes.
But now she is in strategic ministries,
yes,
not only the social solidarity
yes,
minister as we used,
yes,
but we now have in tourism, in different medicine for
yes,
the medical,
yes,
ministry. And this is of course an achievement.
yes.
We have never thought of having it,
yes,
that soon,
yes,
in the last 5 years of
yes,
Mr. Sisi's presidency.
Yes.
Also, we have for the first time a lady governor.
Yeah.
We
yes,
have been asking for this for ages.
The governor of the Qahliya, yes.
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 Of course, we have achieved so many achievements for women in this.
Yes.
We hope to continue also,
yes,
at the parliament. For the first, yes, time, we have 18% of the member parliamentarians are women, and we used to have 1%. 2% maximum.
Yes,
yes. I believe it's an age of women now.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So that was the step taken by Prince Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, showing his keenness on women empowerment. What does this, what would this, the echo that this would leave on the minds and the feelings of the Egyptian women? Would this, encourage women to work more or to participate in even in the political life? Like whenever we have a referendum or elections, we find long queues for Egyptian women.
Yes, of course. We now have, I believe this is the maximum, not the maximum, but we achieved a lot in this, in all areas. Economically, also women are encouraged to enter the business sector, politically in the political parties, in the parliament, and the most of everything is the local councils.
Yes.
25% of the seats are guaranteed for women, at least 25% are guarantees for women. Also, in every aspect in the government,
Yes.
to have 8 ministers, it's for the first time. I think we should appreciate that, and we are a little bit looking for more.
Yes.
Because
Yes.
I believe that gender equality is the issue. And if Egypt is working on the same line of the SDGs,
Yes.
and the Women's Strategy 2030 is aligning with the Sustainable Development Goals, and especially goal number 5,
Yes.
which is the gender equality.
Yes, yes. So, Dr. Badran, in light of Egypt's presidency this year for the African Union, President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi stressed in several statements about for the women empowerment in Africa. What's your comment?
Yes, I think President Sisi is working on all aspects, not only in Egypt but also in Africa, and his presentation for the African countries is enormous.
Yes.
Everywhere he is speaking about women. He appreciates very much her contribution and participation in social and political life. I believe he is doing a fantastic work.
Yes.
Since he has been elected for
Yes.
the African Union.
Yeah, because in the past we did not used to hear the expression of women empowerment. That was something new that came with the since President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi came to office.
Yes, of
actually.
course, of course.
Yes. So, how do you evaluate the role played by the state in supporting women, and especially indebted women?
In what?
Indebted women. So, women who are present because they bought, for example, something for the house, and they signed contracts and they cannot pay the money, so they are put they are
the
in prison.
unpaid work
Yes,
for women.
indebted. Yes.
Yeah. Again, this is an issue everybody in the world is talking about, even
Yes.
the Commission for Status of Women in New York. This issue was on top of the topics. Because women are working in house, and this should be paid for. This is not entering the country economy, but she has to. She is working actually.
Yes.
The women in fields, she is working also with her husbands,
Yes.
and this is not counted for her.
Yes.
I think it's time to evaluate that.
Yes. Yes. So the state is supporting the indebted women, and also President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi played a big role in setting free these women, because they are not they are not thieves or something. They wanted to buy things for their house, or small things, and they cannot afford. Isn't it?
We in the Constitution it is stated clearly that
Yes.
the state government has to facilitate for women to have both يعني roles
Yes.
as a household and also as a working woman.
Yes.
This should be facilitated by when she is, for example, working for an industrial organization, the factory or the company should allow for a nursery for her children.
Yes.
Again, sometimes the business sector do not accept women as workers because of, for example, they say they have maternity leave.
Yes.
They have to care about their children if they are sick or something.
Yes.
Again, this is not يعني fair because it's one of her roles, and also the family responsibilities should be taken. And of course, we are looking for the man to يعني take a part of this responsibility
Yes.
of the looking after the children and the house,
Yes.
to help in this aspect in order to be, for her to be able to compensate for both roles.
Yes, yes. So, Dr. Badran, what about the women empowerment in the field of politics?
Yes. I believe we have to work hardly on this, because if we look at the local councils, which is coming, I believe, next month, we are looking for at least 14,000 women to enter the local councils. It's the 25% of
Yes.
the seats. So the political parties should allow women to enter the political party. They should يعني encourage her to have positions in the decision-making positions in the party, and also to have training for her,
Yes.
to give her the chance to be يعني aware of everything, of what's the local council, what's her role in the local council, responsibilities, and that stuff. Also, NGOs.
Yes.
NGOs has a role here in raising the awareness of women, to encourage them in order to enter the local councils, also to give her training, not only for women, it's also for the man to accept his wife or his sister to enter and nominate herself in the political arena.
Field, yeah, or life.
Awareness is very
political life,
important,
yes.
and this is the role of NGOs, of course.
Yes, yes. So what about the women empowerment in the field of economic?
Oh yeah, economic empowerment is very important, because for example, we had research on the effect of economic empowerment on the social empowerment of women and her role in the family, and her participation in decision making in the family.
Yes.
Of course, economic empowerment gives a woman the power to share and participate in every aspect.
Yes.
To have self-confidence in order to have decisions and take the decisions and have يعني she has to know her rights. It's her right to participate in every aspect, and women economic empowerment is very يعني important, because if you are neglecting this, you are neglecting half of the economy revenues, for example.
Yes.
And of course, economic empowerment is very important, and that's why we are working on that.
Yes.
In the Alliance, we have several projects working on economic empowerment, either as to employ women or to give her microcredits in order to have her own enterprise.
Yes, unfortunately our time is up. I thank you very much, Dr. Fatma Mohammed Badran, the chairperson of the Alliance of Arab Women and the executive director of the Egyptian Feminist Union. Thank you very much for your time. I really had the pleasure to have you today.
Thank you very much for your.
Thank you. Well, with this, my dear viewers, we come to the end of this episode of our program, Women's World. I'm Amal Mukhtar. Thank you for watching.